The Arabian Sea, a huge body of water connecting different lands and cultures, holds a very important jewel, Chabahar Port. Located on the southeastern coast of Iran, inside the Gulf of Oman, Chabahar is full of potential. It's a gateway to Central Asia and beyond. Its location near the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial pathway for the world's energy, makes it very important in today's world. India sees Chabahar as a key to getting around geopolitical roadblocks and reaching new markets. This video explores the complexities of Chabahar Port, its strategic importance, economic potential, and the global forces shaping its future. For India, a growing power with big goals, Chabahar Port is more than just a business project. It's a strategic must-have. Blocked from Central Asia by its rival, Pakistan, India has long looked for other ways to grow its influence and protect its interests in the area.
Chabahar, close to Afghanistan and the resource-rich countries of Central Asia, gives India a crucial entry point to these important areas. Going around Pakistan, a country with which India has a difficult history, is a main reason for India's interest in Chabahar. The port gives India a much-needed alternative to the usual land routes that go through Pakistan.
This freedom to choose its own routes is crucial for India as it tries to improve its energy security by getting oil and gas from Central Asia. Also, Chabahar helps balance China's growing presence in the area, especially its development of the nearby Gwadar port in Pakistan. India's commitment to Chabahar is clear from its big investments in the port's development, including building terminals, cargo handling areas, roads and railways. Besides its strategic importance, Chabahar Port has huge economic potential for India, Iran and the whole region. As a transit hub, Chabahar can open up trade and connections, making it easier for goods, services and people to move between South Asia, Central Asia and the world.
For India, Chabahar offers a shorter, cheaper route for its exports to Central Asia, Russia and Europe compared to the usual shipping routes. This shorter travel time and lower cost will make Indian goods more competitive in these markets, increasing trade and helping the economy grow.
Iran will also benefit greatly from Chabahar Port. The port is expected to bring in foreign investment, create jobs and boost the economy in the less developed southeastern part of the country. The wider region, including Afghanistan and the landlocked countries of Central Asia, will also gain from better connections through Chabahar. These better connections are expected to increase trade, bring in foreign investment, and help these countries grow and develop. Even with its huge potential, Chabahar Port's development has been slowed down by complex geopolitical challenges, especially the long-term tensions between the United States and Iran. US sanctions against Iran because of its nuclear program and other issues have created problems for the project, causing uncertainty for investors and making it harder for India to fully use Chabahar's potential. The US has long been wary of Iran, seeing it as a troublemaker in the Middle East and a supporter of terrorism. India, a close friend of the United States, has had to carefully balance its strategic interests in Chabahar with its relationship with Washington. While the US has given India permission to ignore some sanctions so it can work on the port, the threat of other sanctions worries Indian companies working in Chabahar. This uncertainty about US sanctions has slowed down Chabahar's development, making it hard to attract foreign investment and get the money needed for infrastructure projects. Besides the geopolitical challenges, Chabahar Port also faces big logistical problems that have long affected infrastructure projects in the area. The poor infrastructure in southeastern Iran, along with the difficult terrain and remoteness of the region, has made it hard and expensive to build the necessary roads, railways and energy systems to support the port. The roads connecting Chabahar to major cities in Iran and nearby countries are not good enough. They are narrow, poorly maintained, and can't handle the increased traffic expected once the port is fully working. Also, the railways connecting Chabahar to the Iranian rail system and beyond are not well developed and need a lot of investment to improve their capacity and efficiency. The lack of a dedicated freight corridor connecting Chabahar to major industrial centers in Iran and nearby countries limits the port's potential as a transit hub for goods. Also, having reliable and affordable energy is crucial for any port. However, Chabahar has trouble getting enough electricity and other energy sources to meet the demands of its growing operations.
Despite the many challenges, Chabahar Port has made good progress in recent years, even though it's slower than expected.
India, Iran, and other involved parties have continued to invest in the port's development, but carefully, watching the changing global situation and working to overcome logistical problems.
The first part of the port's development, which included building 2 multi-purpose cargo terminals, is finished, greatly increasing the port's cargo handling capacity. These terminals have modern cranes, conveyor belts, and other cargo handling equipment, allowing the port to handle bigger ships and more types of cargo.
Besides the cargo terminals, progress has also been made in developing the port's connections to the surrounding area. India has been important in building a road linking Chabahar to the Afghan border, giving landlocked Afghanistan a crucial trade route to reach international markets. Also, there are plans to build a railway connecting Chabahar to the Iranian rail network, which will eventually connect the port to Afghanistan, Central Asia and beyond. Chabahar Port's development is connected to the rise of Gwadar Port, located nearby on the Pakistani coast. Developed with a lot of Chinese investment as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, Gwadar is often seen as a rival to Chabahar, competing for the same trade routes and influence in the region. Gwadar, with its deep-sea port capabilities and location at the mouth of the Persian Gulf, has attracted major Chinese investment. China sees Gwadar as a key part of its maritime Silk Road, a network of ports and shipping routes connecting China to Europe, the Middle East and Africa. The rivalry between Chabahar and Gwadar is often seen as a competition between India and China for influence in the region. While both ports can boost trade and economic growth, their strategic implications are important, with each port seen as a possible base for military power in the Indian Ocean. However, it's important to remember that Chabahar and Gwadar are not enemies. They can work together and help the whole region develop. Chabahar Port's development has big geopolitical implications, changing regional dynamics and the balance of power in a very important area for global security and stability. The port's emergence as a strategic and economic hub can either encourage cooperation or worsen existing rivalries, depending on how regional players choose to use it. For India, Chabahar is a strategic asset, increasing its influence in Central Asia and balancing China's growing presence in the region. The port strengthens India's position against Pakistan, giving it another route to Afghanistan and Central Asia that avoids Pakistani territory. This better connectivity lets India promote its influence in the region, encouraging trade, investment and cultural ties. For China, Chabahar is both an opportunity and a challenge. A stable and prosperous Afghanistan, helped by better connections through Chabahar, is good for China by promoting regional stability and reducing the risk of extremism spreading into its Xinjiang province. However, China is suspicious of India's growing influence in the region, worried that it could undermine Chinese interests. As the sun sets over the Arabian Sea, shining on the busy activity at Chabahar Port, its future is still uncertain. Will it live up to its promise as India's strategic gem, increasing trade, creating connections and changing regional dynamics? Or will it be defeated by geopolitical challenges, logistical problems and sanctions, becoming another example of wasted potential? Chabahar Port's future depends on many complex factors, some that its stakeholders can control and some they can't. One thing is for sure, the world will be watching as the story of Chabahar Port continues, because its fate could change the geopolitical landscape of a very important region for global security and prosperity.